Hey friends, welcome back. Our data model so far is ready. Now in order to use Python in combination with Power BI, we first need to install it. So in case you have not installed Python so far, I would highly recommend that you use Anaconda for that. You can simply go to the browser and search for it on the internet and you'll find here the option anaconda.com. It's quite popular, an option to install Python. And if you go to the different kinds of installation settings, you find installing on Windows, installing on Mac, or also on Linux. However, please be aware that Power BI currently is only working on Windows operating systems. So if you have a Mac or Linux system, you would need to have some kind of virtual solution in order to run Power BI on your device. Okay, just wanted to mention that. Now you see you can download the installer here, and then this will guide you through to install Anaconda. Now, as soon you have installed Anaconda, next you would like to set up a virtual environment. And this is something I would highly recommend you to do. So for your Power BI version, you would like to have your own environment. That means you would go, in my case, I can simply go in here and search for Anaconda. And what I will find is here Anaconda prompt. So I can click this option here and then the navigator appears here. And currently it's pointing here, as you can see, to my base environment. So by default, if you install Python, you have a base environment. But next to the base environment, you have the option to install additional environments. And in our case, we would like to install an environment which is specifically for our Power BI. Okay, so in order to do this, you can simply type in conda, create, and then either --name, or if you use abbreviation, you can simply type in -n. And then you can give it a name. So you specify the environment you want to use. Let's say Power BI for Python. Okay, that's my environment name. You can name this whatever you like. And then we also have the option to decide which Python version we want to use. So in my case, I'd like to say, I'd like to use Python, and then equals 3.8. So, and this is the whole code. If you want to call it this way, what you need to do to set up your environment. So use the create keyword -n is the abbreviation for the name. You can give it any name you like. And then you can specify the Python version. You can also install packages directly here, but this is something we're going to do later on. So that's all we need to do here. And as soon as you have typed this in, you can run this, press enter. And you will see that now this environment gets created, you see it here. And this might take a little bit of time. And now you see you get here this proceed, use type, simply type in AY that you want to continue. And store all the spectras in the environment, you press enter. And then all these packages got installed. And we are good to go. As you can see here, we are still in the base environment. But we can now activate our environment simply by using the activate keyword, as you can see here. Conda activate, and then the name of the environment. And this would help us to get into this environment. Now, after installing it, what you should see is if you go to your Anaconda folder. And my case, I already opened it here. If I go to Anaconda here, which in this case is on my local drive under users, Daniel, and then Anaconda. And if I go to the env folder, I can double click here, then you should see an environment, in our case, which is this one here. Power BI for Python. This is exactly the environment we have created using the command in the command prompt of Anaconda. And as soon as this folder is available, the Power BI here in this case environment has been created, you can go back to your Power BI report in here, and then you need to go under File, then Options and Settings, and then go to Options, and then let's just wait. And here is the option navigator, and then you go to Python scripting here, take this option. And here you can set the directory and point exactly to your newer installed environment. So if I go to browse here, and I go to my Anaconda 3 folder to the environment folder, you'll find here Power BI for Python, in my case, depending on how you name this, and simply take the folder. And click OK. And now we're pointing here to this specific environment, which we want to use in our Power BI reports, and then you click on OK. And the final thing I would recommend you is to save the file, because if you close a file without saving it, it might be the case that the environment or Power BI is not picking up the environment. So at least save the file one time, press Ctrl S here. And we are good to go. And that's all we need to do to set up Python for Power BI. That's it for this video, so hopefully you were able to follow along and understood what we did. In case you got questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, best guys. Best.